When I limped out of Nighton, the S*X Club, Antonio was already waiting outside. My former sworn enemy, Andrea Whitney, was live streaming with his phone in hand, completely capturing my dirty appearance. They wanted to embarrass me. I used to be proud and charming, but unfortunately, I had already been tortured long enough and lost all my dignity.
Grace, what took you so long? You want to stay in Nighton for a few more months? What? Want to have some more atonements there?
Hearing this familiar voice, I instinctively trembled. I gritted my teeth and habitually knelt at Antonio's feet, raising my hands to start unbuttoning my shirt. During those 2 months of torment, my room was filled with photos of Antonio, his indifferent voice playing day and night in a loop. I would receive male customers every day in that room. Later, whenever Antonio's voice sounded, I would instinctively start taking off my clothes. I had already gotten used to it.
Are you insane, Grace?
I pulled back uncontrollably, recalling my past experience of being beaten for disobeying. Please don't hit me. I beg you. I'll listen to you. I'll do whatever you say. Please. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have hurt her. I'm sorry. Seeing me being like this, Antonio was stunned for a moment. But then, he suddenly remembered something, and disgust reappeared in his eyes.
What are you doing this time? Play the innocent? I just made you live in Nighton for 2 months. No one dared to bully you there. So save it, Grace.
Grace, you're quite a good actress now, huh? You like being naked, right? Come on. Show us your body. Let everyone in Los Angeles see how beautiful you are.
If it were in the past, I would have already given him a hard punch, teaching him a good lesson. But now, I listened to him and faced his camera, deftly unbuttoning my shirt while raising a smile, like a machine with a pre-set program. The previous proud Grace Parrish had already been destroyed by Antonio 2 months ago. At first, when I was sent to Nighton, I was beaten for 3 days just because I smashed the camera that was used to film me. I was thrown into the backyard, and nobody cared for me. When I got starving, I could only snatch dead mice from dogs to fill my stomach. One day, I got lucky. After a customer fell asleep, I secretly took his phone and called Antonio, praying for him to save me and take me away.
Sorry, Grace. Compared to what Claire has suffered, this is just a small punishment for you. You deserve it.
Antonio, forget it. Maybe we should stop it. I'm fine, really. My life has already been ruined anyway.
Later on, I was told that Antonio and Claire Parrish stayed in a hotel for the whole night that night. Countless intimate photos of the two of them were printed and pasted in my room. These photos kept reminding me that Antonio didn't love me. I finally unbuttoned my shirt, and Andrea's malicious laughter sounded. He even read some of the comments in his live stream room. Suddenly, Antonio gave me a slap, waking me up from my memory.
Grace! What the hell are you doing? Since when did you become so shameless? Huh? You're really willing to show up naked in front of everyone? Where's your temper? I just sent you here to let you learn your lesson. Don't give me that look! Where's your pride? Where's your gut? Fight back like you used to do.
I had listened to similar sentences countless times in the past 2 months and had already become numb to them. Seeing me silent, Antonio got furious and forcibly threw me into his car, sending me home. When we got home, my parents and Claire were having dinner. Seeing Antonio, they greeted him, completely ignoring me.
Grace, you've got thinner. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. If I kept silent at that time, you would have gone through all this. I'm sorry. You know what? Those men were found for you by me. Do you like them?
I was stunned and instantly turned pale. Instinctively, I pushed her away, wanting to ask her why she did all that to me. Why did she frame me on my wedding day? Why did she do all those evil things to me? I was her younger sister. Unexpectedly, Claire followed my force and fell to the ground with a thud. Her arms and knees rubbed against the floor hard, and blood instantly flowed out, staining the floor red.
Grace, you still have me, right?
Enough! Grace, I knew it! You didn't learn your lesson at all. You played innocent right after you met me. And now, you are Claire right after you came back. If you still haven't learned your lesson, then I don't mind sending you back to Nighton. You've already hurt Claire once, yet you want to hurt her again? How could you be so vicious?
I met Claire's eyes and saw provocation in them, but I felt nothing. Instead, hearing Antonio's roar, I kneeled down out of reflex.
Grace, you've really disgraced our family. How could you undress yourself in front of the camera, in front of everyone?
We've never taught you to be so shameless. And how dare you hurt Claire again and again?
I looked up numbly. When I met my parents' angry and disgusted gazes, I felt like I was in hell. My self-esteem and pride had already been eroded under the endless torture and insults. I only knew that if I disobeyed them, I would end up starving. I was scared and didn't want to have my legs broken and reattached again.
Mom, Dad, don't blame Grace. Maybe she still can't accept it. If it weren't for me, she wouldn't have been punished and ended up being a waitress at Nighton. Maybe that punishment was too much for her.
Hearing Claire's words, Dad seemed to become even angrier. He walked up to me and gave me a hard slap. Instantly, I taste blood in my mouth.
You wretched brat! You ruined your sister. How dare you still be so rebellious here? Just keep kneeling here. Don't get up until you realize your mistake and apologize.
I instantly trembled all over, my face turning pale. There were many customers at Nighton who had some special hobbies, and many of them often made me kneel down. At this moment, those memories slowly emerged in my mind. I bit my teeth tightly, trying my best not to make a sound, but Dad thought that I was just silently refusing to yield. He crouched down and stared at me. Just as he was about to speak, my movements interrupted him. As I trembled, tears streamed down my face. But I quickly reached out to my chest to undo the buttons that Antonio had done for me previously. Meanwhile, I began to beg, murmuring, "I'm sorry. I'll do as you say. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please don't hit me. I'll take off my clothes. You can do whatever you want to me. Please don't hit me. Please." The living room was quiet instantly. My parents were stunned to see what I was doing.
Grace! What's the matter with you? This is your home. Stop this madness. No one will hit you. Will you stop acting? You're the bully. You've been picking on Claire all the time.
As if I didn't hear him, I struggled like crazy to get out of his jacket. Kneeling helpless and devastated, I tried repeatedly to unbutton my top. "Please, I can unbutton it. Don't hit me, okay? Please." I recalled the day I fell in despair. A man had an idea to excite himself. He wrapped his jacket around me and sewed it, then he made me get out of it fast. If I was slow, he'd punish me with a whip with pricks, a burning cigarette butt, or a blackened scorching knife. I went hungry every day and was deprived of my sleep. I was too weak to tear apart the jacket. Then, I tried to use my teeth. By the time I finally stripped myself, I was covered with streaks of blood, new wounds were caused from time to time, and my body never healed. In the end, my parents had to call the Kaufman family's domestic physician Troy Fletcher to sedate me. Miss Parrish is not mentally well. It looks like she was deeply traumatized. I suggest she see a therapist. Troy paused. A sympathetic look appeared in his eyes. She's in a bad condition. She needs to be hospitalized as soon as possible. My mom's expression changed slightly. She looked a little worried. But when she saw that Claire was about to cry, the tinge of care for me vanished from her face.
Grace is mentally ill? How is it possible? What could have caused that? She hired people to make trouble for Claire and hid her openly. She's the last one in the world to be traumatized. Grace, drop your act already. I only asked you to be a waitress. You got traumatized by that? You put on such an act? Where's your pride? Or is this your new trick? Pretending to be ill to get sympathy? You think we'll forget what you did? You owe Claire, and you must pay.
I stared at the ceiling with a blank expression. My pupils dilated. However, Antonio insulted me, and I didn't respond.
Grace, what's on your neck? She pulled at my collar to reveal the hickeys. Do you have a lover? What about Antonio? You two are getting married. How could you do this to him?
I shivered a little and curled up. Tears gushed out of my eyes. Taken aback, Antonio stared at my neck. After a while, suppressing his anger, he dragged me out of bed and carried me downstairs. He didn't speak until he put me in the car.
Grace, who's he? How could you date someone else? How could you sleep with another man? You did this to me just because I punished you? Are you heartless? Tell me. Who is he? Are you acting crazy to elope with him? What am I to you? A joke?
I couldn't take it anymore. Covering my ears, I screamed and flinched to stay away from Antonio. Tearful, I dropped to my knees and begged for mercy hysterically. Please, please spare me. It hurts too much. I'll be good. I won't charge you. Just don't hit me, okay? I'll do anything. You can make a video of it as you like. Don't hit me. Please. Antonio stared at me for a long while. Frustrated, he let go of me and took me to his villa. He had a domestic worker bathe me. After the bath, I changed into fresh clothes. The domestic worker kept persuading me. I eventually had half a bowl of oatmeal. It wasn't that I wasn't hungry. I was too afraid. Before, those people at the club would spread delicacies across the table while I was starving. I would get beaten up if I tried to have a bite or a peek. Gradually, I was too afraid to look, let alone eat.
Don't you like the food? You're as picky as before. You're still the Grace I know. I'll take you out to eat.
Antonio was finally smiling. I almost cried. In the restaurant, I curled up in the corner timidly and stared at my feet.
What? Do you miss your lover too much to eat? Grace, it's been only 2 months. How could you fall for someone else so soon? I made you work at the club as a waitress. It was a punishment you deserved. And now, you won't even eat with me? Grace, will you change your bad temper? Who will care about you as I do?
Scared, I grabbed the utensils with shaking hands. However, at the sight of the figure approaching our table, I dropped the fork. My face went pale. Trembling, I climbed under the table. Antonio was quick to grab me. Before he said anything to me, the other man spoke. Mr. Kaufman, it's been a while. Hearing Sean Mitchell's laughter, I trembled violently. In the past 2 months, he did everything to torture me. Among those men, he was the worst. One look at him made me shiver nonstop. Overwhelming fear drove me to escape from him.
Why were you hiding? I'm surprised you still retain a sense of shame. Apologize to Claire when you get home. Be sincere. Don't act that way again.
When Antonio finished speaking, Sean sat across from me. His eyes roamed on me as if he were undressing me with them.
Oh, isn't this the most popular stripper from Nighton? Mr. Kaufman, I didn't know you had a thing for such tramps. I can introduce someone new to you. The other guys and I have had so much fun with Grace. Not one part of her body is curious to us now.
Antonio's expression stiffened. He looked at me in disbelief. Antonio's expression darkened as he processed Sean's words. His grip tightened on the utensils, knuckles whitening. But before he could react, Grace's trembling hands clutched the edge of the table, and she slowly stood up. She swayed slightly but caught herself, inhaling deeply. Her entire body still bore the weight of trauma, but something in her eyes changed. It wasn't just fear anymore, it was resolve. You're wrong, Sean. Her voice was hoarse but steady. You and your kind never owned me.
Oh, is that so? Grace turned to Antonio, her expression unreadable. Take me home.
Antonio hesitated, perhaps expecting a breakdown or more pleading. But Grace simply stepped away from the table, her back straight, waiting. A storm of emotions flickered across Antonio's face before he exhaled sharply and let her out. A storm of emotions flickered across Anto back at the villa. Antonio watched Grace with conflicted eyes. He had expected the same submissive, broken girl from before, but something had shifted in her. She no longer cowered in his presence. Instead, she stood tall, her arms crossed protectively around herself. Neo's face before he exhaled sharply and let her out. You knew, she said, breaking the silence. You always knew something was wrong, didn't you? Antonio's jaw tightened.
You thought I deserved it, she finished, her tone devoid of anger but full of quiet understanding. That's what makes it worse. His silence confirmed everything. Grace turned away, staring at the moonlit window. I used to think if I just obeyed, if I just proved myself, things would go back to how they were. But I understand now. There is no going back. And I don't want to. Antonio stepped forward. Grace, She shook her head. I'm leaving. His face paled. You can't just. I can, she interrupted, her voice firm. And I will. For the first time in months, Grace felt the weight on her chest lighten. She didn't know where she was going, but it didn't matter. She had survived. And now, she was going to live. Antonio didn't stop her this time. He just stood there, watching as Grace walked away from him, from her past, from everything that once defined her. And as she stepped into the night, a small, uncertain smile crossed her lips. She was free.